What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. I'd like to do the same old stuff that we do, right? Quick general price analysis of Bitcoin Cash. And then we're going to compare Bitcoin Cash to BTC, and then we're going to compare Bitcoin Cash to Ethereum at the request of March Arnis or Mark Harness. March Arnis. I don't know how to pronounce it, but one of those has to be right. Hit the like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. So, of course, we can start it off with we're waiting on this break of this very long-term trend line with BCH. It's very obvious, I think, that we are going to break it, okay? Different behavior begets different results. That's what I like to say. You can see a wick here. You can see a wick here. You can see bodies here. It's a little bit different, right? Flirting with it more than we ever had before, right? And then, again, this is the most rapid turnaround to interacting with it, and for the first time we got above it. So it's just a matter of time before we break out of this. Generally, whenever you're in a very long phase of consolidation like this, the breakout is immaculate, you guys. It's immaculate. The moves up that we've seen have been literally immaculate moves. They've been 127% in a month. Here we had 170% in a month. This will likely be larger by a large degree than that, right? I would expect something from a high to low. We probably play off of this fib overall. Based on where we are here, this move likely wouldn't stop until at least $1,200 because Bitcoin Cash loves it 690. It even likes to go a little bit above it. But based on where we are in the fibs, I wouldn't be surprised if we ran all the way up to about $1,800 at the 786, lining up this. Like it would make the most sense with this breakout of this line. I really do think it's going to happen, guys, by the end of January. But at least like that $1,200 to $1,300 zone by the end of January. Okay, so not much has changed there. You look at the weekly RSI, everything's fine. Looks bullish as hell, bouncing off the 50. We look at the price action, right? Put a low or a line right there at that low, and here you are, boom, finding support at previous areas of support, previous areas of resistance and support, going all the way back to the great gap itself and where you found support beforehand. So this is a goodbye kiss. That's what I said the last time I did analysis and pointed this out. I think this is our farewell kiss goodbye to that great gap from the very first bear cycle that we had. I think it's the kiss goodbye. We're never going to interact with prices below this gap ever again. I think it's on from here. So really, with that being said, I think we will move up probably to about 13 to 1700 by the end of this next month. Really, yeah. Daily RSI looks good. 4-hour RSI starting to look bullish, actually. Yeah, I definitely think so. Looking fierce, guys. Neutral, definitely neutral, but it's starting to look a little bit bullish. Generally, whenever you interact with the 50 and you reject it, but you don't go to the oversold zone, generally that's bullish. It wasn't here, but maybe it'll be different here. Although technically we're doing the same thing we did before. That might call for lower prices, but I don't think it will. I think this was kind of a one-off. Normally in these circumstances you would see a little bit more of a move up, but we didn't. And then also if we actually looked at this on Coinbase, you can see here that the volume was dying off a little bit as we were moving lower here, right? We did have a nice spike down right here, but overall, even these levels of volume over here at the highest were still lower than these volumes. Volume was dying off as you're moving down, so kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Non-conventional conditions. But anyways, BCH USD, that's that. Let's talk about BCHBTC now, right, on Binance. BCH USD Coinbase has the most historical data, but I'm fairly positive Binance has the most historical data when it comes to BCHBTC. If you ever wonder why I move between those charts. But yeah, here you are, man. Here you are, continuing. You're just continuing to find lower lows versus thing. We thought that was the low. I remember back here, man, when we first found this low, we were like, okay, we need to hold this low. It needs to hold this diagonal line. And then we're like, oh, it probably does go below it. And then that's when we turn around. Well, we went below it, but we just kept going below it and below it, finding resistance at the 123 moving average. You guys, this is not a good look, I got to admit. But where we closed last week, if you look at that close, that right there went right to the low of this move here. This look that we've got here with the close and all, that to me looks like a fake out. And a fake out is basically where you're breaking out, but psych, right? It's a fake out. And that the reaction afterwards tends to lead to a move up, a very bullish move up. If you think of this zone here, you were flat here finding support for a while. You had a fake out here, and look at what happened afterwards, right? Like just you had a very immaculate move up. So I think the time is soon for BCH to see a very nice move versus BTC. The weekly RSI itself is in a downtrend still. Well, not a downtrend, a consolidation phase, I suppose, right? lower highs here in the RSI on the weekly, higher lows definitely. And if you don't like that higher low, at least that higher low might be something to consider. We could be range bound by this for a little bit longer, but you are pretty close. You filled out most of this consolidation, so I would think any day now you could potentially bounce off the 40. This could be the week, you guys, that we see BCH really grow versus BTC. Like really grow. If it's not this week, soon, certainly by the end of the month, if not early January is what I would think. But next target versus BTC would probably be, we're at about 0.0047 BTCs right now per BCH. We're probably going to move up to about 1% of a Bitcoin by the end of this move. That would be my thoughts, yeah, for BCH, for sure. All right, let's look at, and then obviously I think we're going to go higher than that too, but that's just by the end of January predictions. BCH now versus ETH, huh? Look at that, they got it on Kraken. That's interesting. I'm just going to look and see. Yeah, we've got more data than that. Come on now, Gemini. Oh, look at that. They got so much data. All right, we're going to do BCH USD Coinbase versus ETH USD. We can do Coinbase too. We don't need the all-time history for ETH because it'll only go back as far as BitcoinCash's existence. So this is the BitcoinCash chart versus Ethereum now. So again, kind of doing things differently than we did last cycle, aren't we? Or no, hold on, wait. Yeah, because this was last cycle. Last cycle, it was just bearish all the way down. And then you had the bear cycle, and you also performed worse. Here we are doing things a little bit different than what we did in the beginning of our early days. Also Ethereum's early days back here in that 2017 to 2018 period. High to low. Messing with the 236, generally, almost always, you guys, when you see price going above the 236, almost all, like 90% or more of the time, you will see the 382. So it's inevitable. Bitcoin Cash, it's worth 14% of an Ethereum right now. It's inevitable that it will be worth more than double that. So Bitcoin Cash, essentially what that means, and I like this. This is a good request here, March Harness. I like that. March Harness. I don't know how to pronounce it, but one of those again. I like the perspective. I see where you're getting at, right? Because Ethereum probably does outperform Bitcoin from here on out. There's no denying that, right? It probably does. We've gone over those charts before. I'm not going to do it here, but I know that for a fact. And if you don't know that, you can just type in, like, on my channel stuff. You can just search like Ethereum probably versus Bitcoin, right? Probably something like that. Yeah, or maybe not. Maybe it's not on there. Oh, here we go. Crypto troubles abound. No, that's 10/2022. Right, there we go. Let's ETH. Huh. Well, I might have to explain myself then, won't I? All right. Well, we can do that real quick. Hold on. ETHBTC. Right. That's what we want to do real quick. ETHBTC. We look at this chart here. I think it's very obvious first off that it is going to find a low because you've got that parabolic structure to the downside. So this is unsustainable. You're probably not going to go down to zero. At some point you will bounce, okay? Just like this here, that parabolic structure, it's unsustainable. At some time you reject it, okay? From a relative high to a relative low, and I'll get back to the BCH ETH stuff in a second, but I just wanted to validate what I'm saying here. You are below the 382. It's a little bit uncommon. You could go a little bit lower, but I don't know if you do. You're oversold on your monthly RSI, okay? That's something to note. Oversold as hell on your monthly RSI, and you've got lower lows with higher lows. It's hidden bullish divergence, okay? If we look at the relative low here to the relative high, all the way down to the golden ratio, and you reached for it, but you couldn't get there, that's actually an absurdly bullish indication right there. If we look at the weekly RSI, a little bit of bullish divergence here at the weekly lows, right? Definitely looks good. It would be good for at least to move all the way back up to about 4% of a Bitcoin, if not more. Okay, I definitely think that this is where ETH will start turning around versus Bitcoin. It might have been in my last BTC dominance video that I talked about this, that I did this. But you've got lower lows in the daily RSI, bouncing off the oversold zone here, higher lows overall in this parabolic structure, like really, not parabolic structure, sorry, parallel structure. Right, like that. It would appear to me that you're going to gain some value versus Bitcoin here pretty soon, okay? And then again, over the months to come, guys, I don't think Ethereum, it's in the oversold zone. I don't think that it's going to go lower. I think that it's going to go higher. I think it's going to bounce from here and probably return back to these highs, if not more. Ethereum likely will outgrow Bitcoin versus the rest of this cycle. And then there's one more maybe that we could see this on, ETHBTC. Come on now. Daily, it's disrespected, so I do expect you probably come back up above that. Don't worry about that bearish cross. Weekly looks pretty sad actually, and then the monthly just crossed down, but this could be a false cross, and this actually does, in my opinion, go well with the false cross, because I think that we are at a low point. I think that we are going to turn around here, and the Bitcoin dominance chart really suggests that as well, right? If BTC.D, if we were to compare, and I'm getting way off topic here because I'm just trying to make a point, but I feel like I haven't made it well enough, right? I feel like I haven't been given enough evidence, so I'm just trying to. But BTC, we're expecting that the dominance chart probably has topped off, okay? That's kind of the expectation. Generally, and not generally, every time the dominance chart has topped off, Ethereum, we've seen Ethereum rally, right? And it has topped off. It's just found its lower high. I think that it is going to reject from here and go lower, and that's probably when we see Ethereum. Yeah, look at that, rejecting the overbought. So that's probably when we see Ethereum run up. All that to say, Bitcoin Cash versus Ethereum. If Ethereum is going to gain value versus Bitcoin BTC, and Bitcoin Cash BCH gains value versus Ethereum, at least to a bare minimum effect, right? Because it broke above, this is what started all this. It broke above its 236 already. We're below it now, but it broke above it already. We've got this nice kind of ascending triangle look right here, right? It definitely looks to me like an ascending triangle. Kind of like you had a fake out breakout right here at the top, but sometimes you get these ugly ascending triangles. People say ascending triangles you can't break out, but I've seen it enough times. I've literally seen it enough times that you can. You can have ugly, especially in crypto, you can have ugly ascending triangle patterns and they still work out. At any effect, this does seem to be a bullish kind of phase of consolidation, and the fact that you went above the 236 would suggest you go up above the 382. If Ethereum is going to gain value versus Bitcoin, and BCH is going to gain at least twice its value versus Ethereum from here, that just spells really good things, right? And I would think at least there, by the end of the cycle, BCH could be worth, dude, as crazy as it is, and it's not crazy, right? Because this is actually what we're expecting. We're expecting Bitcoin Cash to be worth anywhere from 13 to 20K. And by the end of the cycle, that could be worth more than one Ethereum, right? That could absolutely be worth more than one Ethereum. Even more, like, yeah, dude, these are very legitimate targets by the end of the cycle. So very interesting stuff. I like this, Marcharnos. I like that we talked about this. I see why you were talking about it, right? I see, or at least I think I see why you were all bullish on it. Because we look at this, Coinbase. We'll end the video here. Okay, guys, we're getting to the end real quick. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. We're expecting anything from a high here to a low, right? We're expecting anything from 13 to 23K. Let's make sense out of that in a percentage standpoint, right? We're at $452 right now. Okay. Minimum, that's a 27, 28x right there. If we look at ETH, maybe we'll have to pull up another trading view. ETH USD. Launch chart on Coinbase, sure. Delete all that, get you in log, you're in log. All right, so Ethereum, right, we're thinking could see new all-time highs somewhere around, what, high to low, somewhere around anything from 7.7K to 14K, maybe as high as 22K, okay? But I think Ethereum probably does see 14K. It probably even sees just above that, would be my thoughts. Okay, so just above 14K, probably around 15K, let's say. Let's put it right at the 1618 there, okay? Okay, so I think Ethereum does see that. That's a 6x from here, okay, 6.2x. So 6.2x, I mean, that's 14K. If BCH were to go to 13K, that's just below 1 of an Ethereum. So that would mean that BCH here would fall just shy of the 618, right, probably, and find resistance here at these previous areas of support. So we can make sense out of that, right? From a price perspective, I feel like that's maybe BCH misses its 618. It doesn't have to go here. I would expect that it does, but it doesn't have to go there. If it were to go not there and find resistance, the only area that I could see finding resistance really would probably be right here, if not the 0.5. But at 13K, that area that's just below, like less than 1 of an Ethereum, if Ethereum were to go to 14K or 15K, that would make sense. Okay, and now, again, with the same kind of target area, if BCH were to make a move all the way up to 23K, like I'm expecting, that's about a 50x from here, 50x, 23K. If Ethereum was at 14K and BCH was at 23K, what's that? Let's do Google calculator here. Google calculator. Hold on. All right. Let's see here. I thought I heard something. What was I doing? I got all distracted. I'm sorry, guys. 23K for Bitcoin Cash versus 14K for Ethereum, right? 23. No, we'll do 14 divided by 23. 14. No, not 214. Damn it! Come on, man. 14 divided by 2.3. No, 23. Damn it! I'm sorry. No, I did do it wrong. I always do division backwards. I always think of it different. I don't know why. There we go. 1.6. 1.64. Okay. BCH versus Ethereum. 1.64 being the exact top of the golden retracement zone, an area that you found resistance at. Marcharnos, any person who calls himself a Dragon Rider, anybody who loves Bitcoin Cash, this moment should be very validating for you, because we've done this across so many different time frames. Right? We've made sense of it. We've made sense out of this 20K target through so many different metrics, but it's crazy. We keep finding new metrics to make sense out of it, right? And you can nitpick, you can cherry pick anything, but there's a lot of coincidences. There's a lot of key areas, golden ratios, and just like key areas in the BCHBTC chart, USD chart, BCH ETH chart, the Litecoin chart. There's a lot of coincidences going on around this 20K area, you guys. And it makes sense that if you've been consolidating for multiple cycles, man, when you rip, you're going to make up for some lost time, man. I mean, hell, I'm not even calling for you to go to your golden extension. I'm calling for you to go to your 1-for-1-4 at a minimum 13K. And we made sense out of 13K as well, didn't we, off of this chart? So yeah, I like that a lot. Thank you, Marcharnos. That's awesome, man. I got nothing else to say, guys. I hope you liked the video as much as I did. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. There's a lot of coins, guys, that comparing them to Ethereum actually it can be helpful. I've noticed that with Dogecoin. I've noticed that with Litecoin, right? Everyone compares to Bitcoin, but comparing things to Ethereum, it actually, good call, man. Thank you for that video. All right, take care, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.